Hi, Tom. Nice to meet you. Where are you calling from?
Cheltenham.
Cheltenham. Okay, good.
So my question is about free will and ego. So, for example, in this moment, I feel like there is a me who can make decisions and choices. Like, for example, I'm choosing what to say right now, and like I can choose to think of a certain image, and it feels like there is some sort of free will. I can move limbs out of free will. But is this just an illusion? Is it that it's all happening the same way that bodily functions are all happening without sort of intervention, and that, or is it that the infinite awareness, like God, believes is acting through this body mind, believing that it is limited to it, and making these decisions that I
Yeah.
believe that I am making?
Tom, it's not God or infinite awareness that believes that it is limited to the body mind. It is a thought that arises in infinite awareness that states that infinite awareness is limited to the body.
Okay.
It's not, infinite awareness is not believing it itself. It is simply a thought that arises that says infinite awareness is limited to the finite body. That thought or that belief is what is called the separate self. In other words, the separate self is not an entity as such. It is the belief that there is a separate entity. That's all there is to the separate self, a belief, and it is later substantiated with feelings.
Okay. So who is it that is choosing? It is infinite awareness who is choosing to do all the things that I or anyone else is choosing to do on the surface level.
Choices arise in infinite awareness.
Right. Okay.
But don't anthropomorphize awareness. Awareness is not sitting
Yeah.
there on its sofa wondering whether to choose this or whether to choose that. No, the
Okay.
choices arise in infinite awareness. They are made of infinite awareness. And it is
And
a
is it just that?
thought that
Yeah.
attributes that choice to an apparently separate self.
So it takes authorship when I choose to do something, like right now speaking. It's just infinite awareness spontaneously acting, and then the me saying, well, the I thought of me doing it is just the ego, and that's it. Just the me I thought.
The ego is, remember, the ego is it's not created, it is imagined with that thought. So it's not
Yeah,
the
that's yeah.
ego that is doing the thinking, it is the ego that is imagined with the thought. So
Okay.
the one that is doing the thinking is the only one that is
Okay.
infinite awareness. Now, you said, is it just spontaneously having these thoughts? Yes and no. It's not completely spontaneous because there is a pattern to Tom's mind.
Yeah.
Tom's mind has a particular shape. For instance, it thinks and speaks in English. It doesn't speak in Chinese. So it's not a coincidence that when you ask a question, you ask it in English, not in Chinese. So
Yeah.
although the source of your thinking is completely free, nevertheless, that freedom is channeled through a conditioned collection of thoughts, feelings, sensations, and perceptions, and therefore appears in a way that betrays cause and effect, that betrays some pattern to your thinking. It is not totally spontaneous.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I sort of get that. It just sort of choices arise and to make decisions sort of spontaneously, but like conditioned by the body mind.
Conditioned by your
But
body
there's no
mind.
separate
Yes.
me
It is also quite
present.
possible that um, infinite awareness may appear in Tom's mind. Infinite awareness may assume a form in Tom's mind that is not conditioned by Tom's previous conditioning, and that is what's called inspiration. It is the intervention of a greater intelligence into our finite mind, which is not simply an extension of the past. And I'm sure you've had this experience. You could either have it in thinking about a problem or an issue or a situation. You could also have it in acting. For instance, if you were a sports player. So let's take the first example. You're thinking about a problem. You bring all your past experience to bear on the problem. Now, if that's all you bring to bear on the problem, then your solution will simply be an extension of your past. It might still be a perfectly good solution, but it's also possible that your mind will be informed by a solution that is not derived from your past experience. Some new element will enter your mind from a greater intelligence. That is inspiration, and it will be the solution you find will not simply be an extension of your past. Now, exactly the same thing could happen if you're a sports player, not in the realm of thought, but in the realm of action. You're in a game and you're facing a situation. Well, you've been training very hard, so 99 times out of 100 you will respond. You're a tennis player. The ball comes to you. You respond to this ball in this particular way. You know exactly what to do. You've done it thousands of times before. You do it again and it works. However, sometimes when the mind is open, relaxed, free from its past conditioning, that invites a response from outside the finite mind, although inside consciousness, to bring to bear on the situation. And you will do something that is inspired. You will play a shot or that neither you nor anybody else has ever seen before. It'll be truly inspired.